I'm Dr. Fred Ogola. I'm a professor of strategy and decision making at Strathmore Business School. In this week, we have been flooded by all the things we call scandals about SGR, deals which were done before 2018. And Kenyans are going back to 2018, yet we are in 2022. I think that this is not what is working. So to this week's segment, let us bring to you what is called the difference between infrastructure and superstructure. Why am I trying to say so? By reimagining, by rethinking the differences between superstructure and infrastructure, we shall get out of the small talk about, oh, SGR was a big mistake. SGR is in Kenyan's balance sheet. It's like if we swallowed a poison, it is in our stomach. What you need to do is put milk in the stomach and vomit it out. That cannot happen. But it is poison we can deal with. Fortunately, can't kill. But what we can do is, how can we overcome this small talk so that we start stop putting ourselves into this conundrum? Now, what am I trying to say so? Well, look, there are moments in Kenya. Kenya is in a very lovely position whereby we can actually overcome this noise about talking too much about SGR. Look at the moment is that Kenya is remaining with 8 years to finish the implementation of Vision 2030. Vision 2030, which is the economic blueprint, is ending in Ruto's presidency, actually. Now, why don't we waste our time why are we wasting our time discussing about the failed or the misthoughts or the missteps? I'm not saying SGR is a misstep. I'm just saying it's not a good discussion at the moment. SGR, we just need to manage that asset to find a way we can get the best out of it and pay the loans which are due on it. The rest of the thing remains neither here or there. So what I'm trying to say here is that let us try to look at these two things. There's a difference between infrastructure and superstructure. Superstructure is the thinking behind what you want to do. The infrastructure is putting up the physical infrastructure, technological infrastructure, the software infrastructure that is required to execute your thinking. For example, you want to build yourself a retirement house. The infrastructure is, what do you want to do in retirement? Do you want to find yourself retirement doing farming? Do you want to find yourself retirement doing fishing? Do you want to find yourself retirement making videos? Or do you want to become a writer or an author or something? That will entail what kind of infrastructure you put in place to support your superstructure of retirement. And that's what we need to focus on. So what is Kenya's infrastructure? Let me take you back a little bit. If you look, Kenya is in a strategic location. Kenya has a strategic moment. Now, why don't we use this strategic moment and location to give Kenya a strategic direction? And just to talk about it, look this way. Look at the issue of roads, belt, and movement initiative for China. China has done a fantastic job of opening up 150 countries whereby they are going to bring in export for what they want to use to produce what they want to produce, and then take out imports, bring in imports for what they want to produce for exports, and then ship out that exports to help them be able to grow their economy. Kenya is in East Africa, Eastern Africa if you like. We have DRC Congo market, a population of the third largest country. We have Ethiopia, the second largest country in Africa, and we have Nigeria. And they have not fixed so many things. We find ourselves next to Southern Sudan, we find ourselves next to Somalia, Uganda, Tanzania. These economies have not had big thoughts about where they want to go. Why don't Kenya be the country to think about it like China has done about Asia, South Korea has done about it in Korea? Why don't we come up with a big thought and say, where do we want to go as a country? And look at what are our mineral resources? What is Kenya's capabilities? What do we lack so that we can create infrastructure to import it inside the country so that we can use those things we import to do value addition to our natural resources so that we can export. For example, Kenya can become a tech hub by importing cobalt and copper from DRC Congo, manufacture mobile phones, manufacture all softwares, so that we can use those ones to become competitive in the region. But we are just sleeping. When you go to DRC Congo, we carry wood. We go to DRC Congo, we carry charcoal. We are looking for how to transport maize from Rift Valley. We are looking for how to transport bananas from Meru. Are we not thinking big, or we are just being boxed? We are boxing ourselves. So this small talk of blaming each other For example, the current administration blames President Uhuru's administration, opposition blames the government. Why don't Kenya think together and reimagine Kenya and make Kenya great and thrive instead of the blame game we are having? So my message to you, before you blame SGR, which is an infrastructure, what is the superstructure? What was it supposed to deliver? Let us not build roads to go and eat nyama choma. Let's not build roads to go and visit our families. Let us build roads to produce. Let us not do the language of inputs. What are the outputs we want? Do we want to increase the economy, grow the GDP? What are the KPIs as a nation we want to deliver? Rather than going to small talks or blaming each other. Blame game won't make anything. We'll just become a whining nation. So let's move from a whining nation to become a winning nation. Thank you.